Well, and just like we were talking about, you think somebody sees it and they don't.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. For you ladies that are just jumping on, we're talking about the National Wake Up Call. So every Monday they do like a live call with some top coach or someone in Beachbody that will get on and kind of, they have a specific topic that they talk about each week. And this week was Angie Bellamere, and she was talking about overcoming fear of social media, which is like a biggie for me, just kind of like getting out of your own way and how to use social media to really promote yourself. And so she had several really good points. And so make sure that they always do a recording on the Team Beachbody podcast. So like I just get on the podcast app on my phone and type in Team Beachbody, and you can pull up all the calls that way. And that way you can like pause and rewind a little bit, because it's really
fast forward.
or fast forward through all the like beginning stuff, because they do a lot of like recognition, and any new coaches that hit like 1-star, 2-star, all any of the star diamonds and up, they like publicly recognize you and say your name like on the National Wake Up Call, which is pretty cool. So anyways, if you get a chance to listen to the one that was from this morning, it was really good. And make sure that you take notes. And actually one of my favorite like points that she made was her very first one. And her very first point was just begin where you are right now. Like, don't try to get to your perfect like transformation point before you start letting people in on the journey. Because the journey is going to be the most inspiring part for people, not necessarily the end result. Because really, like, at what point do you hit the end result? Like, I'm not at my end result yet. Like, it's such a transformation, like over so much time, that if you keep waiting and putting it off to get to a certain point, it's like, at what point are you going to be ready? I think I was 5 weeks in when I posted my first side-by-side, and I posted it to Instagram before I posted it to Facebook. Well, first I posted in our challenge group, because that was kind of like a safe place for me. And then after that, I posted on Instagram, and then had a lot of support there. And then then it was week 6 that I did my like big full blown, like stepping out of my comfort zone, here it all goes Facebook post. And then it just kind of went from there. But yeah.
And that's a big thing for some of the girls, because they're waiting for the right moment, or they're waiting for their post to be perfect, or they're waiting for the perfect thing to say, or they're waiting for the right time. And you just have to stop waiting, and you just have to go for it. And we don't know what we're doing. You might think we know what we're doing, but Logan and I have no clue what we're doing, and we're learning as we go. Like literally, we're brand new at this too. So
fake it till you make it.
You just have to go for it and go all in, and just figure it out and learn about it as you go. That's why we're all doing it.
How do you get people, like on Instagram, obviously, hashtagging, but how do you get people on Facebook to see your page that you don't know, like people that aren't your friends? Like, do your friends have to like it, and then their friends see that?
It'll kick it back into the feed. Like, if one of your friends likes a post, somebody that follows them will see that they liked a post, and they'll say, oh, I wonder what that was. And they could click on it. And it's just a matter of being consistent. Like we said, the more you post and the more consistent you are, the more your posts are going to get bumped in that feed, and they'll keep, every time somebody ticks on your post, it'll kick it back to the top of the news feed.
Have you seen like on your like page at the bottom where it shows like how many people have liked and stuff. Have you seen that little bar that says your post reached
people
like so many
yeah.
people? That's
Yeah.
kind of how many people's news feeds it's kind of like fed into.
Okay.
So they're seeing it. They're just not liking your page
Right.
overall, but they're still seeing it. And one of the tips somewhere along the way, if somebody comments on one of your pictures on your like page, don't reply to their comment right away. Wait at least 20 minutes because then it'll cycle back through.
Mm-hmm.
So if they comment, don't like if they're like, oh, what's the recipe? Wait 20 minutes and then reply.
Yeah.
Good to know, because I've been replying like right
Yeah,
away.
like right, and so was I at
Mhm.
first, and then I listened to somebody's call. So I think it was Johnson, however you say her name, Charlene. I think it was her call.
Mhm.
She said wait 20 minutes so it'll cycle back through.
Okay.
And if they, if someone likes one of your pictures that isn't following your page, which will happen, then you can, like, when you go and like click on the likes for like a number of likes that you've had on that post, it'll pull up their names and you can invite them to like your page if they haven't liked
if I've
it
already
already.
invited, all of my Facebook friends, can you invite them again?
You can't invite them again, but what Logan's saying is if you're on your Facebook page as your personal page,
Oh.
and if you click on your like page picture, it'll bring up the name of everybody that liked that one picture. And in that, it'll allow you to invite all those strangers that liked the picture to like your whole page.
Okay.
I can post a screenshot of that later because that was hard for me to, Haley had to walk me through it, but you have to be on your personal page to invite them.
Okay.
I'll screenshot it later because once you see it, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Like right in front of your face.
Okay. So we were going to talk about inviting and sharing tonight. Does anybody have, before we even like really kick off, does anybody have a specific question or something to kind of like segue us into this? Or do you just
go?
Want me to start talking? So, the biggest thing about inviting is the first vital behavior out of the 4 vital behaviors of being a coach. And personally, for me, I feel like inviting is the most daunting, or the one that makes me sweat a little bit, because I don't want people to see me as one of those random people from an MLM company where I private message them and say, hey girl, how you doing? Just a generic copy and paste thing that they send to every person. Say, hey, I'd love for you to be a model for my wraps, message me back for more. No, we don't quite roll that way. When it comes to inviting, a lot of inviting happens kind of, subliminally, like kind of backdoor way, just like through your posts. The more you post and the more you share your journey, by sharing your journey, you're inviting people in to learn your story. And the more that they feel like they know you, the more they're going to be likely to kind of reach out or strike a conversation up with you. Or if you notice that there's someone that is frequently liking or commenting on pictures on your journey, then you need to be awesome like Heather, because she's like the queen of this, and she will send him a message, right, Abby? Isn't that how we how we got you in here with us? Heather will send Abby a message. Like, how do you word it, kind of, Heather? Because you're the best one.
Yeah, well, your words are a little bit sweeter than mine. I just, and I need to work on my sprinkles and cupcakes because I'm very blunt. I'm very straightforward, and I need to work on that because it doesn't always work for everybody. I don't know, Abby, maybe someday you'll have to pull up your first message or that I sent you and see what it says, because I'm sure it's like, hey, I see you keep liking all my posts. When are you going to join my group? I'm sure it's something like that. And that's the exact message I think I sent to Amy, who's in our group now. I'm like, keep liking everything. Like, when are you going to do this?
I'll look back tonight. I'll post a screenshot.
You can't do that with everybody. Like, I mean, obviously it's not going to work with
Right. Some people, yeah, it obviously doesn't work with, because the purpose of this is to kind of build a relationship. And, you know, I've had people message me, you know, girls that I went to high school with, but that was, you know, dating myself, you know, 10 plus years ago. And so a little bit more of a conversation has to happen before I do the invite. Now, I'm trying to get better and more confident with my conversations and inviting people. And like, I guess like the top one that kind of comes to mind is my conversation with Leslie, because she's been on one of my dream team lists for a while now. And because I knew that she had done Beachbody programs in the past and had really awesome success with it, and she did Insanity and loved it. And so I knew in the back of my mind, like, okay, I know that this girl knows Beachbody and knows that it works. So she was on my list of people that I knew that I was wanting to talk to. But when you have this list of people that are kind of like your dream team, that you know you really want badly to be on your team because you know that they'd be awesome at it, it's almost scarier to message them, because the fear of them saying no, like, just stings a little bit more, you know? But you know, it was one day after I had done, kind of a side-by-side transformation post of mine, and she messaged me saying that my words in that post had kind of spoke to her, and I just went for it. And I said, listen, thank you, first of all, for taking the time to write to me. Second of all, I want you on my team because I know that you would be amazing at this. I know these programs have worked for you in the past, and I want you on my team. Because so it kind of,
you just have to be authentic and honest.
Right. And I wanted her to know that, like, this isn't like that wasn't a message that I just send out to everybody. Like I meant it, and I value her, and I really like wanted her to be on this journey with me, you know?
And it goes back to that call I listened to over the weekend. Her name started with an M. I don't know. I think I posted it somewhere. But her thing was it Melanie Mitro's? Maybe it was. They have 3 words in their team, and they use them to each other every day, and they use them in every message and invite they send to everybody. And it's only 3 words, and that's the first 3 words, and it's how are you? And then they press send. They don't type anything else. They just say, how are you, and send, and then they start their conversation. And they make it about the person and not themselves. And they listen. So after you ask, you have to listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes we already want to solve their problem before we even listen to their problem. And that's not our job.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The big part is, you know, striking up a conversation, and then making sure, you know, then, you know, they might bring up Beachbody and say, you know, you look so great. Like, what is it that you're doing? And you have to try so hard not to word vomit all over them. I know that we've talked about this already, and it's like one of my like biggest crutches is to just like try and tell them the whole X, Y, and Z of Beachbody, and you can't do that. Yeah. Is that I like Instagram because it limits you so much before you have to press enter, but try not to word vomit all over them, and try to turn the conversation back to them, because the core of this whole thing is finding out where they are struggling in their life. If it's their nutrition, if it's their exercise, their energy, find out what it is that they're missing so that we can help put the right challenge pack into their life. We really try to tailor it because you want to set them up for success. You don't want to, I probably wouldn't start my mom off with,
Insanity.
Yeah, exactly. With like 60-minute cardio workouts, like, hell no, she's not going to stick with that.
I have to start those next week, and I'm like dreading it.
Oh my God. No way.
Yeah. So really try to think about, what kind of program is going to be best for this person. When I had my first conversations with Liz, she was newly postpartum and had some physical limitations due to like complications in her pregnancy and stuff. So through the conversation, we figured out that PiYo was definitely going to be the best fit for her in her life. And she posted her results and she like is a freaking rock star, Liz, if you jump on and watch this later.
Looks so good. PiYo worked for her.
I know. So proud. I get all teary. Who else has things to add or anything?
Well, something that Logan and I were talking about earlier, because I had a couple moments today with people that I verbally was talking to about this program. You can't decide for people whether this is for them or not. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to even mention it to them because they don't need it. You don't know if they need it. They might be dying on the inside, but look put together on the outside, and they're not. So it's not up to you to decide for them whether they need it or not. You have to offer it, and you have to share it, and you have to let everybody know about it, because the person that you think doesn't need it might be the person that needs it the most. So just keep that in your mind and remember that too.
I totally had that moment with the TeamZ thing, because it like brought people up and I was like, oh no, they don't need that. And like I went to skip them and I was like, how do I know that? Like,
Yeah.
And then to go back to what Logan said, like a couple of I had one today and one yesterday, people that were pregnant. And I was like, oh, well, they probably don't want to work out right now anyways or whatever. But like, what a great opportunity for me to start building a relationship with them now, so that after they have the baby and they're looking to lose that baby weight, that, I've already built that foundation with them. So it was just interesting that people, it was super scary to just send someone a message you haven't talked to in 10 years out of the blue. But I just went to their page and tried to find something on their page to connect with them, whether it was like an old memory or something with, a vacation they had gone on or whatever. Like, everyone messaged me back and everyone had a conversation with me. So,
that's awesome.
Beachbody, but like started the conversation. So,
yep.
And there's a way to make a target list or something on Facebook. I'm going to figure it out tonight. It was on a call somewhere in my notes. You can make a Facebook target list, and somehow that list will have like a separate column or something on your news feed. So like if you have 10 people that are on your like need to join Beachbody list, they'll be on a separate column, and you can comment and like all of their stuff first in the morning during your power hour before you go to your regular feed. So you're building that connection with those people a little stronger. I hope I'm making sense, but it was on a call and it made sense what she was saying, because everything gets lost in your feed, especially when you're in these groups. Like I'm in like 10 groups. I lose everything in my feed. So by making that list, it pops those people up. But I'm going to figure it out tonight. I'm going to do that and TeamZ tomorrow night.
Yeah, I have favorited, I think is the word. Like my best friends, So, there's no reason that I couldn't do that with people that are on my team, so that they show up first in my newsfeed.
I'll figure it out between calls.
Okay.
How'd your calls go, Abby? Did she call you?
Oh, the girl from the Y?
Yeah?
No,
No.
she didn't even respond to my text. I don't understand, unless I got her number wrong. She was just like, "Hey, I heard you talking about 3-day refresh. Are you selling it?" It's like, how much more interested could you be? You know? I'll text her again tomorrow and be like, "Did you get my messages?"
Yeah.
And I'll see her. I think I might see her at the Y tomorrow, actually. So
Well, yeah, and it's on special now too, so.
yeah, but I don't think the challenge pack one is, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
But that's okay.
And another thing that Logan and I talked about was, and especially because we're all starting new on this, and now that call tonight or today said you can post 6 times a day on your like page instead of just 3. Even though we know what we're doing, each individually in our homes, and we think we're telling everybody what we're doing, they don't know what we're doing. Because 2 people today that have followed me that are moms on the field trip said, "So what is it that you do?" And I thought I was like, I feel like I'm plastered like a billboard on the side of the road. Like I feel like I'm all up in everybody's face about it. But clearly I'm not, because they follow me. They comment on my pictures sometimes. They're always liking my pictures. And they both are like, "So what is it that you do? Like you work out for like 2 hours a day?" I'm like, no, not what I do. So like Logan said, you know, we need to be like ABC, like 1, 2, 3. We do this, we do this, we do this. So I'm going to
We
try.
do shakes, we do 30-minute workouts, we eat clean.
I mean, we just need to be clear and consistent, because obviously I'm not being clear if they still don't know what I do. Because we are trying to be, you know, a subliminal message type of thing. But at some point, I guess we just have to be like, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had no idea.
So
And then
I
the one girl said, after we were done talking, the one girl's like, "Oh, okay, thanks. I'll go look into it." I'm like, "No, this is it. Like here, right there. Look into, like, there's nowhere to look into it. It's here." Like, so even after the verbal conversation, I'm still like, oh.
That's when they go and order online and end up as someone else's lead.
No. "Oh yeah, thanks for the info. I ordered online last night." No.
So I posted like a 5-day challenge group thing for 5 days of Shakeology and clean eating and stuff like that. And I've only gotten one person. I just posted it last night. But so what happens if I only get a couple people? Like we just run the group with them and a few of us coaches.
Yep.
We'll be doing another one, but not till June.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to do mine next week.
Yeah, I'll pop in and I'll be in yours and participate in it and stuff. And
yeah, and you can always ask us if you need like extra bodies. Like
Right.
Abby and I will jump in. Like we always jump in somebody's, and we're doing it.
Yeah, and sometimes like if someone's getting ready to do it and they want to have a couple extra people in the group, you could always ask on Fire Empire if any of the other coaches want to do it with you and like throw people in there. What we did with our last group, and I feel like the participation was like, it was better than some of the other 5-day groups that we've done.
Yeah, it was better.
But it kind of fizzled out around like day 4 or 5, kind of a little bit.
I said 3.
But since there were like 5 of us coaches that were kind of leading it, we all kind of like took a different type of post for the day. Like someone like did a recipe, someone did a little like workout video, someone did a shake recipe, someone did some sort of like motivational post, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure, is there a script for yeah, but we try not to use, I mean,
it's so long.
Yeah, there is. I don't know if it's posted in On Fire Empire.
Yeah, it is. There's a 5-day
Is
script
an
in
On Fire
Empire.
Empire.
It's just they're very long.
Yeah. So if you do use or reference the script, I would reference it just to kind of get your kind of talking points for things that you kind of want to post about in the group, but try
There's
not to
good
copy and paste
information in
it
this.
because it's a lot of information and ends up being kind of like word vomity, so you can kind of lose
Well,
people
yeah, and
that
it's
way.
2 posts a day.
Mhm.
It's a morning post and an afternoon post, and
Right.
they're like this long.
They're both really long. Yeah.
I miss
Yeah.
some of that. My Wi-Fi is being lovely. It's been worked on like every other stinking night.
What we were saying was on the On Fire Empire page, there is a script of sorts for 5-day challenge groups. Okay, here, I'll help you. But if you look at it, be sure just to kind of reference it, and instead of copy and pasting like all the posts, because it's like 2 posts a day that are in the script and they're both like long and no one's going to read that much. You really don't like get as much interaction. So I would reference it just so you kind of know what kind of talking points to use, but then really just kind of go off of your own use your own words because it's more authentic than anyways.
Does everybody have a like page in here? No.
Not yet. That was one that took me a little while to do, and I realized that it really was just like me kind of being in my own head and worrying about like what people were going to think about me creating a page. And finally I was just like, you know what, like I'm doing this, I'm in it, like I just need to get out of my own way and do it. And now I'm toying with the idea of making a separate Instagram. I'm trying to decide whether to keep my personal and like fitness.
That's too much.
You think it's too much?
It's so much to keep track of all the time.
No, don't make another Instagram. You crazy?
Well, the only thing is like, because I do like to post like, personal stuff about my kids, and
That's okay. It's
for
part
a lot of the time, like I go back and forth on whether I have my profile public or private, and but you can grow so much more, with a public profile, but then it, I don't know.
You don't want your kids public on the public part, basically.
Yeah, I'm just.
But like it goes back to what you said. Like people relate to you because you're human, and if you make a separate one for Beachbody and it just becomes an Instagram that's Beachbody, 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 Beachbody.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. I think you're fine. Plus, that's a lot of work.
So on Wednesday, we're going to have the On Fire Empire team call, and I am going to be talking about, share with him, please. I'm almost done. Please don't make him mad.
Logan's going to be leading the On Fire Empire call on Wednesday about challenge groups. I want to know why our challenge groups are working, because they really are. Before we did, before the April challenge group last month, if you weren't in it, we were in a different challenge group, and it was kind of like crickets. So in our March challenge group, I asked Logan, so when do we get to run our own challenge group? And she's like, we can do it next month. I'm like, yay. So we did in April, and it was just absolutely blowing us out of the waters. Like it was just like mind boggling what happened in that April group. So it's still happening in May. And we keep raving about our challenge group to them and in our On Fire Empire leaders page. And they want to know why our group is awesome. So Logan's
a lot of other people on the team are really struggling with their challenge groups just having like no interaction or very little, at least. Like, but I, having been in some of the other girls' challenge groups before, Heather and I really got to a point where we were just like, okay, we need to like switch things up and start getting people like motivated to participate in these things, because what was happening before was Megan Ewaldson has a script for her 30-day challenge group, and she, I mean, the woman is obviously like a whiz at this business because she's in the top 10 coaches. But what was happening was month after month, her script was getting used and just getting copy and pasted. And you can even go as far to schedule every post to be uploaded at a certain time every day through like the Buffer app. So you're not even physically like getting on and doing it. And I feel like the more scripted and the more just like scheduled like that it is, obviously the less interaction you're going to have, because you're not really interacting and being authentic with the people in your challenge group. And Heather and Abby and I make like every possible effort to like or love and comment on every single post that gets posted in the group, because I know when I post something, I like it if people are, you know, liking or commenting on it. And so it goes back to the reverse way. And I feel like sometimes people get a little caught up, like as a coach, it's easy to get caught up in everything that's out here that you're trying to like get a grasp of. Like, how am I going to recruit more people? How am I going to, you know, you're reaching for these like far out goals out here. How am I going to get to 2-star diamond? And
You gotta build this first.
you lose track of what's happening right here in front of you. And you can't lose track of the people that have already invested in you, because the people that are in challenge groups are the ones that are already invested in you. They already are on this journey with you. So you need to take care of them first and make them a priority, because the more they feel valued and that you are actually like being a part of this process with them, the more committed they're going to be, the more they're going to post in the group, the better results they're going to have. They're going to feel more confident in sharing on their pages and with their friends and family. And then it's going to turn around and they're going to end up recruiting more people, either them becoming a coach and recruiting more people, or if they're not comfortable being a coach, then, you know, they'll, you know, just spread by word of mouth, like what's going on, and connecting them back to you. So it really is important that the challenge group is one of your number one focuses as a coach, because those
And
are
your new coaches that you guys are enrolling in the challenge group, they're gonna do what they see you do.
Mhm.
So just like Logan and I do what I do because she did it first. So if you want your coaches to be successful, you need to also be liking and commenting on all the posts, or as many posts as you can, especially their posts. Like, take care of your coaches first,
Mhm.
but you
All
have
of you
to
guys on
lead
here
by
are really good
example.
about that.
Yeah, you have to lead by example and just be present and be authentic and be supportive, and then it will snowball down and it will just keep growing.
What is it about our challenge group so far that you guys like? Like, if you could pick like one thing that kind of helps you stick with it. I just kind of want to have a little list so that I can tell people on the call on Wednesday, like what.
I think the positivity, like commenting and liking, and just, you know, everybody's always positive. If somebody misses a workout, it's okay.
Right.
If somebody has a few drinks over the weekend, it's okay.
It's
Like,
life.
you know,
There was a lot of that this weekend.
or maybe not okay. But I mean, it's okay to be human, you know, the 80-20 thing. Like,
Mhm.
you know, it's okay to not, it's okay to not eat clean 100% of the time and not feel bad about it. Just things like that. Like people, I think, well, oh, you can only eat this or that or whatever. And it's like, well, I can eat whatever I want, but I choose not to, because once you start eating better, like you don't want those things.
Right.
And like I said, just everybody continuing to kind of cheer you on and like,
Perfect.
the daily silly things, like, let me see your silly water selfie. Like those are just kind of fun. And then you tag other people. And,
Yeah.
I've tried to tag girls that I know in the group that I didn't even know were in the group until I joined it, that haven't been as active, and trying to tag them to get them kind of more involved again.
Yeah, because definitely the more you participate in the group, the more you get out of it. Because you just feel more. In a minute, okay? Mommy will be almost done in like 5 minutes, okay? I think my first challenge group that I was ever in, I don't think I posted a single thing like the entire month, which is probably why when Blair enrolled me as a coach, she put me as a discount coach under her husband. But the next month was when I finally started coming out of my shell and sharing and participating more. And but yeah, it really makes a big difference. And if I have girls that I know were like really, really wanting to be in the challenge group, and I know that are there, but they're not participating, I'll text them and be like, hey, like, what's going on? How are you? That's so big. How are you? And a lot of the times they'll say, I'm doing great. Like I'm loving all the recipes. Everyone's so motivating. Like I'm really busy with school. I'm a teacher. I'm almost done with school. And then I'm going to be like all in the group. But thank you for checking in with me. So. Yep. We're just about done. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Is there anything else you guys want to see in the challenge groups? Something you want to see more of? I mean, you guys can always throw something up there too. Everybody's a leader in that group. It's just not us. We're facilitating.
Maybe we could do like a shake of the week or something, like try a new recipe each week.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I thought about doing like raspberries in my chocolate shake.
I put avocado in mine today.
Frickin' seeds ruin it though, man.
Oh yeah.
Berry seeds.
I'm so mad. I bought raspberries at Walmart today and they were all moldy.
Oh, no.
I think if you use frozen raspberries, you're okay.
Renee, at Fred Meyer, raspberries are 99 cents.
What?
Yeah.
I paid like $5.
Well, I'll be taking my raspberries back to Walmart tomorrow and going to Fred Meyer.
All right, guys, it's going to cut us off.
It's good to see you all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye, Luke.